So we'll start by breathing in through one nostril, holding one nostril with a thumb or a pinky finger. And we breathe in as long as we can. And then when we exhale, we release that nostril and clasp the other nostril with our finger. We try to exhale a little bit longer than we breathed in. And when we're breathing in through whichever nostril is unclasped, we try and follow that breath all the way down to our abdomens, allowing our abdomens to rise and then fall.
I'm in, and I started Harry's, the shaving company that's fixing shaving. Here's why some of our customers choose Harry's. The blades are about $2 each. We get a nice clean shave every time. The blades stay sharp with plenty of shaves. Thanks, guys. And for everyone else, give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter Pandora at checkout. That's harrys.com, code Pandora.
When thoughts come into our head today, without judgment, we just try to be aware of those thoughts. And then we re-find our breath, re-follow our breath, re-feel what our bodies are doing. And then we just try to stay with that until our next thoughts come. When our next thoughts come, we just continue to re-find our breath, re-feel our body, and let them go. We continue to breathe deep in yoga. It's called pranayama breathing. So we breathe in as long as we can, and we exhale, allowing ourselves to soften, allowing our stress and tension to leave our bodies. When we're setting our intention today, if we want to lay, we can lay on our mats, we can sit tall, it's whatever feels right for us. Well, let's set our intention by bringing our hands onto our knees or sitting in a position that feels comfortable, or we can lay on our mats. And let's feel whatever parts of our body are connected to our mat. And let's just feel that groundingness of it. When we're grounded to our mats, it just means that part of our body is touching our mats. And let's set our intention by breathing deep and allowing whatever desire or need we are to take care of our bodies today come to the surface. Let's breathe that into our heart centers. Maybe it's peace, maybe it's love, maybe it's strength, maybe it's letting go. It's whatever it is today. Let's breathe that right to our heart centers. As we move through our practice, we let go of judgments of ourselves and competition and expectations. We just try to take care of our minds and our bodies right here, right today. Where are we today? So we can modify anything that doesn't feel right. We can take a break if we need to. We're just here to take care of ourselves today. Let's do a few big more pranayama breaths by breathing in deep through our nose as long as we can. And exhale, softening from the inside. When it feels right for us, let's make our way to a standing position. And let's ground our feet, widening our toes, feeling that connectedness to our mats. We're gonna do some jumping, and if jumping doesn't feel right today, we can just shake our limbs. But the point is we want to get our immune system, get our lymph nodes flowing. So we can do that by jumping or just shaking our limbs. I'm pregnant, so I'm not going to jump real vigorously, but if it feels right to jump really hard and move around, do what you got to do. So let's just begin by jumping and just letting ourselves our limbs shake, our lymph nodes start to activate. We can shake our heads if that feels right. If it feels right to kind of dance around and do circles, do what you gotta do. Breathe life joy into ourselves as we're doing this by continuing to breathe deep. And like I said, if it feels better to just stand and shake your limbs, you can shake your legs, shake your arms. But if it feels better to just kind of do some jumping around, and we'll just do some jumping around, letting our arms go where they want to, letting our legs jiggle and wiggle to get those lymph nodes going. Start to feel some heat in our bodies, it feels good. And let's just start to slow it down. And let's reground our feet when it feels right for us. Let's feel that energy, that tingling in our bodies. Let's breathe deep, feeling our hearts, feeling our abdomens rise. And when it feels right for us, let's reach up with our arms, stretching our fingers as straight up to the ceiling as we can. Feeling our fingers pull up and our feet grounded and strong. And when it feels right, we're gonna cross our left foot right over our right. We're gonna bring our right arm down towards our mat, allowing our left arm to just slightly come over our heads, stretching from our fingers on our left side all the way down our side, down our leg, feeling that stretch, and then moving to the right side by uncrossing our feet, recrossing them, stretching. If it feels right to hold this stretch for a little bit, we can hold it for a few breaths, or else we can do this with our own flow, moving with our breath. Ace, you gotta plug your headphones in. Inhaling deep, exhaling, feeling our feet, feeling our stretch. Maybe even deepening our stretch as we go from side to side. And when it feels right for us, we'll bring our arms back down by our sides, uncrossing our feet and regrounding them. Let's reach up with our left hand, continuing to pull our right hand down towards our mats. And we're gonna just stretch our head over towards the left side, allowing the lymph nodes in our neck to stretch and loosen. When it feels right for us, we switch sides. We bring our right arm over the top of our head, pulling our left arm down towards our mats, and stretching the left side of our neck. We continue to breathe deep by inhaling long through our nose and softening and letting go as we exhale. And I invite us to just bring our arms down by our sides. We're going to pull our fingertips down towards our mats, allowing our shoulders to come back and down, pulling our heads up towards the ceiling and breathing deep. Just release our arms down, kind of allowing our shoulders to shrug a little bit and loosen up. And then we're going to make our way to either the front or the back of our mats. We're going to step back with our right foot, coming in not to a deep lunge, but to more of a high lunge so we can feel strong and supported and grounded. We're going to reach our arms up towards the ceiling. We can either clasp them and put them behind our head, or if it feels better to put them more on the outsides of our head. We want to stretch our back and our front of our neck. So we're going to arch back, feeling that groundedness of our feet, and we're going to pull our neck so the lymph nodes on the side and the back of our neck start to stretch. We want to let our heart center open, so we bring our shoulder blades back and down, and we're going to breathe deep here. And when it feels right, we'll bring our arms down by our sides. We'll step forward with our right foot, stepping back with our left foot, feeling that groundedness, that supportedness first. Reaching up with our hands, bringing them to the back of our heads, and allowing ourselves to just fall back towards our hands. We'll reach our hands back down. We're going to step forward with our left foot. Feel that groundedness. Then we're going to step back with our right foot again. We're going to go into a little bit lower of a lunge. If going into a low lunge doesn't feel right, then we continue to stay in a high lunge. We're going to reach our hands up over our heads again, feeling the pull of our fingers, bringing our fingers together, and on a big exhale, bending our left elbow to our left knee. We're going to reach up with our right elbow and breathe deep here. We're allowing the lymph nodes in our legs to stretch. When it feels right, with a big inhale, we're going to reach our hands straight back up, stepping forward with our right foot, stepping back with our left foot, bringing our right elbow down to our right knee, reaching up with our left elbow, and breathing deep, inhaling fresh energy, and softening with strength as we exhale. And when it feels right, we'll reach up with our arms, stepping our feet back together. And let's bring our arms back down by our sides. Let's find our breath here by breathing in deep through our nose, exhaling and letting it go. And let's reach up with our hands, placing our fingers and our palms together. And on our exhale, we're going to exhale by bending our knees, bringing our left elbow to our right knee. Inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, bringing our right elbow to our left knee. Since I'm pregnant, I'm going to modify this one. So if that feels right, continue to do that. I'm going to bring my left elbow to my right knee, or my left hand, reaching up with my hands. Exhale, bringing my right hand to my left knee. We're balancing out our vagus nerve, slowing it down, getting it moving all together, calming ourselves by breathing deep and exhaling. We try to stay with our breath, letting our thoughts come and go. When it feels right for us, we're going to reach up with our hands. Let's just allow our hands to fall apart, reaching our hands away from each other, arching our backs back into waterfall. We're going to bend our legs, allowing our arms to come down by our sides as we do our breath of joy. We're inhaling deep at the top and exhaling as we bring our arms down by our sides. We can do this softly, or we can do this more vigorously if it feels better to do it with a little bit of fierceness. In yoga, we get all the systems of our body working together. That's why we do these repetitive moves and motions. We're disciplining our minds to stay with our bodies. Or maybe we're disciplining our bodies to stay with our minds. And when it feels right for us, let's reach our hands straight back up to the ceiling, stretching from our feet to our fingers. And we're going to sit back into chair. So we just come into a bent knee position that it feels right for us. We reach our fingers up towards the ceiling. Our shoulder blades are back and down. And if we can, we try to go up on our toes. And when it feels right, we'll straighten up. We'll reach our fingers as high up to the ceiling as we can. And let's bring our arms down by our sides, visualizing a color of energy and love and protection around our bodies. And let's just spread that energy and protection around our bodies by swinging our arms, letting them go where they want to go, painting whatever color we need to paint around our bodies today. feels right, we'll slow it down, maybe even painting that color all around our legs. And we'll bring our arms down by our sides, grounding our feet so they're about shoulder width apart. And we're reaching up with our fingers. We're going to sit back in the chair. We come up onto our toes if we can. And we continue to breathe deep. And when it feels right for us, we'll straighten our legs. We're going to reach our hands up towards the ceiling. And let's spread our feet out apart a little bit. Let's reach our arms straight away from each other, bringing our shoulder blades back and down. Let's do some big pranayama breaths here, feeling our feet, feeling our fingers, feeling our heads, pulling up towards our ceilings. Let's pivot our right toes so they're pointing towards the front of our mat. We're going to slide our right arm down our right leg, reaching up with our left and only sliding down to where it feels comfortable for us.
Right now, staying connected is more important than ever, and fast, reliable internet from Xtreme can help. We have plans to fit every budget, with speeds up to a gig, all at Xtreme.com. We'll ship you a self-install kit on us to make setup quick, safe, and easy. No template required. And our simple digital tools will help you manage your
And let's bend our right knee, coming into whatever lunge feels right for us. We're going to bring our right elbow onto our right knee and reach up with our left hand. Breathing deep and softening as we exhale. Let's reach our left arm so our left elbow comes towards our left ear. Breathing deep, breathing new life energy to all our cells, and allowing the stress and tension to leave our bodies as we exhale. And let's reach our left arm down to our side. We're going to straighten both legs. We'll pivot our right foot so it's pointing towards our left. We're going to pivot our left toes so they're pointing to the back of our mat. Our right toes should be pointing to the edge of our mat. And we're going to straighten our left leg, sliding our left arm down our left leg, reaching up with our right and only sliding it down to where it feels comfortable. We breathe deep by opening up our abdomen, allowing it to fall and collapse as we exhale. We're finding our inner peace by breathing deep. And we'll bend our left leg, bringing our left elbow onto our left knee. If you want to do a deeper stretch, you can try to bring your left shoulder down to your left knee. So whatever feels right today. Let's reach our right arm, our elbow to our right ear, stretching that whole right side. And let's reach our right arm to our right side. We're going to straighten both legs. Let's point our toes towards each other. We're going to hinge at our hips, coming into a forward fold. We can either reach our hands down to our mats, or we can stack our hands, pushing them through our triangle, and we allow our heads to just fall where they want to fall. And we'll slowly round up, straightening our backs, allowing our vertebrae to just stack on each other. And we can walk our feet together, or else we can jump them together. We're going to start our sun salutation. So let's make our way to the front of our mats. We're going to ground our feet, widening our toes. We'll bring our thumbs right to our heart centers. When it feels right for us, we're going to reach our hands straight up, letting our hands to just open and be wide. And we're going to fall back in waterfall, continuing to breathe deep. Let's reach our hands back up, and we're going to softly swan dive down to our mats in a forward fold. And let's step back with our right foot, either bringing our right knee down to our mat if that feels right, or else we keep it up and strong. Let's reach out with our right hand and up and over as we open our heart centers. And let's bring our hands to our mats. We're going to step back with our left foot and hold in plank. We can drop our knees down if that feels right, or else we just continue to hold strong. And let's lower to crocodile. We're going to reach up into upward dog, softening on our exhales. Let's reach our hips up to downward dog. And let's step our right foot forward, feeling our feet, reaching out with our left hand. Let's reach our hands to our mats. We're going to step forward with our left foot. And let's reach up with our hands, straightening our legs, straightening our back, feeling the air around our bodies. And we're going to arch back into waterfall. Let's reach back up, bringing our hands together. And we're going to bring our thumbs to our heart centers. Let's reach back up with our hands as we start our sun salutation on our left side. We're going to arch back into waterfall, feeling our breath, softening our bodies as we exhale. Let's reach back up with our hands. We're going to softly swan dive down to our mats in a forward fold. Let's step back with our left foot, finding our lunge, feeling our feet, reaching out with our left hand. We're going to bring our hands to our mat, coming into plank as we step back with our right foot. And let's lower to crocodile. Let's reach our hands, our arms are going to straighten as we reach our heads up towards the ceiling. Let's reach our hips up to the ceiling in downward dog. We feel our feet grounded. Maybe we even pull our heels a little deeper towards our mats. Let's step forward with our left foot. Breathing deep, reaching out with our right hand and up and over. Let's bring our hands to our mats. We're going to step forward with our right foot. As we come into a forward fold, let's just let our heads hang down. Soften our bodies with strength. When it feels right for us, let's straighten back up, reaching our hands up over our heads. feeling alive and strong. And we're going to open our hearts back up into waterfall. Let's visualize a bright white light coming straight out of our heart center. When it feels right, we'll reach our hands straight over our head, bringing them together. And then we're going to bring our thumbs to our heart centers. Bring our arms down by our sides. We're going to ground both feet. And let's visualize with a few big breaths. As we exhale, we're going to grow roots out of our feet, right down into the earth. So we inhale fresh, positive, new energy. And we exhale by growing roots. Maybe they're slow, maybe they're fast. Whatever that's got to be today. Let's soften our knees as we do this. Let's bring our weight onto our left foot. We're going to do tree. So we bring our right our right heel either up to our left ankle or to our left calf or our left thigh. And we reach our hands up over our heads. Continuing to breathe deep as we discipline our minds to match our bodies. We're going to move into dancers, so we're going to bring our right hand to our right ankle, and we can just hold here if we want. If we can hinge at our hips and move forward, then we hinge at our hips, pulling our right foot up towards the ceiling, our right hand up towards the ceiling. Let's reach our right foot back behind us. We can bring our right toes down to our mats or the floor if we want. Or else we hinge at our hips, coming into airplane, reaching our hands over our head and our right foot back behind us. Let's reach our hands down to our mats or the floor. We're going to come into balancing half moon by continuing to reach our right foot back, or else keeping our toes down onto our mat. We're going to reach up with our right hand. When it feels right for us, we'll bring our right hand down, our left foot down. Let's hinge at our hips in a forward fold. Let's stand tall by slowly rolling our spine, stacking our vertebrae, using the strength in our legs to help us stand tall. And we'll bring our feet so they're hip width apart. And let's ground our right foot, bringing our left foot either to our right ankle, or to our calf, or to our thigh. Breathing deep. Reaching our hands up when it feels right. We're going to move into dancer, so we bring our left hand, grabbing our left ankle. We can hold straight here, or if we can, we hinge at our hips, reaching our left foot behind us and up towards the ceiling, and then reaching our right hand up towards the ceiling. Let's move into airplane by reaching our left foot back behind us. We can bring it down to our mats if that feels right. Or else we reach it up and back, bringing our hands over our heads and hinging at our hips.
Life isn't measured in dollars and cents, not in shares and percentages, or even in years, months, and days. Life is measured in the moments you share with family, however you define it. Security Financial offers insurance, investment, and retirement solutions.
Let's bring our hands down to our mats or the floor. As we come into balancing half moon, we can keep our left foot down onto our mats if that feels right. And if we can, we lift our foot back behind us, reaching our left hand up towards the ceiling. Bring our left hand and our left foot down to our mats, and we're just going to allow our hips to drop right in between our feet. Our heels are pointed in towards each other. We can keep our heads reaching up towards the ceiling if that feels right. If it feels right to allow our heads to drop down, we can allow our heads to drop down. This posture is really good at opening up our root chakra, which is at the base of our tailbones. We continue just to follow our breath, breathing in as long as we can, and exhale by softening and letting go. Let's just drop our hips all the way to our mats. And we're gonna rest on our tailbones. So we're gonna bring our feet right out from us. Our arms can just come by our sides. We're gonna lift our feet off of our mats by resting on our tailbone. If we can, we lift our feet to engage our core. Keep that strong. The more strong our core is, the easier it is for our vagus nerve to balance out. Let's just bring our feet down to our mats. We're going to reach our heads up towards the ceiling. And then let's just slide our hands right down our legs. If we can go into a really deep stretch where we can grab our feet, then we do that. Since I have a big pregnant belly, I can only stretch forward so far. So I just do what I can, and I continue to breathe deep by following my breath and exhale by softening. And let's straighten back up with our upper bodies. We're going to bring our feet together into butterfly. And then we're just going to lay back. So we're bringing our spines down to our mats. We can allow our arms to come by our sides if that feels right. Or if it feels better to bring our hands right by our belly buttons. Do that too. We'll just allow our abdomens to rise and fall. let's reach our knees together. And then let's reach our feet up towards the ceiling. So we come into legs up the wall. We can hold here if that feels right. Or if we can, we lift our hips off of our mats. And when it feels right for us, let's just lower our legs back to our mats. And let's reach our knees up towards the ceiling, bringing our feet to the edges of our mats. And let's just allow our knees to come towards each other, stretching the outsides of our hips. And we breathe as long and deep as we can, following our breath to our abdomens, and then releasing it from our bodies. And let's inch our feet back so they're hip width apart. We're just going to lay our legs flat on our mats if that feels right. If it feels right to keep our knees pointed up towards the ceiling, then we do that. We just find a position that feels comfortable for us as we start our period of meditation. And let's relax our face, feeling and being aware of our whole bodies, from the top of our heads all the way down to our feet. continue to just allow our abdomens to rise and fall. Devotee, what are the obstacles to realization of the self? Ramana Maharshi, they are habits of the mind. Our yoga mat is a mirror. The habits of the mind that create suffering everywhere else in our lives turn up on the mats as well. It takes most of us quite a while to see that our suffering is caused by our habitual thoughts about the world, rather than by the nature and love of the world. There is a long process of letting go of our cherished belief that if we could only make the world a little more to our liking, everything would be just fine. Eventually, we arrive at the conclusion that if we want our outsides to change, we are going to have to change our insides. Our insides are our thinking. More to the point, they are our habitual thinking. The stuff we think over and over again. Our chronic fears, prejudices, and desires. Yoga did not invent these self-defeating habits of the mind, but our ancient teachers compiled a handy list of them, which are the 5 kleshas, or afflictions. The kleshas are ignorance, pride, desire, aversion, and fear of death. They give us an understanding to the problems we have. The asana give us a chance to see the problems in action and to apply the principles of yoga to overcome them. To begin, develop the habit of noting your habitual reactions on the mat, all of them, and know that we can always find our breath. We can always come back to our peace. When it feels right for us, let's slowly roll onto our right side. We're just going to feel and notice our right side. And when it feels right for us, we'll slowly push ourselves up to a position where we're sitting. And let's repeat the mantra 3 times, either out loud, letting our hearts sing out into our rooms, singing out into the universe, or we can do it mentally. It's whatever feels right for us. And the mantra is OM, or and we'll say the mantra to ourselves. I am peace. I am love. I am light. Let's repeat that to ourselves, either out loud or in our minds. And let's do it 3 times. I am peace. I am love. I am light. Let's bring our hands to our heart center. Let's do a few big deep breaths here. And I invite us to honestly feel ourselves. Do we feel more connected with ourselves, more at peace, more alive than we did before we came to our mats? Let's honor ourselves, each other, and our practice. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Namaste.